Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Brooke is at a point where the guilt is eating her up so much. In the beginning, it was kind of rinse and repeat as far as, Brooke being, broody and Rich and that they're being super supportive and, the usual things that he says as far as, like, you can't sit there and keep kicking yourself and you're a good person and blah blah, the usual encouragement stuff. But it's gotten to a point now where Brooke is just feeling overwhelmed with guilt. Hope walks into the room when Ridge leaves. um Brooke tells Hope that, yo, I gotta be honest at this point. Like, I can't keep sitting there doing this. Like, the guilt is literally, practically eating her up. So she's like, I'm gonna tell him. I can't take this anymore. And Hope supports it. Now on the other side of town, you got Steffi and Finn talking about, Brooke and Deacon, how could she have done that, and yada yada yada. I mean, hell, even Finn is kind of surprised, kind of taken back by the whole thing. Taylor comes in and she chimes in, and I'm sitting there thinking, Steffi, when are you actually planning on telling them? Like, I don't, when it comes to a time in these shows, it's just like from the time where she talked to Taylor and told her about the whole Brooke and Deacon thing to, let's say, now. I don't know if this was an overnight thing or whatever. I'm guessing it's an overnight thing. But, once again, Steffi does take the opportunity, because she can never miss the opportunity, to sit there and say, you belong with Dad, and we're going to be a whole family, and screw those Logans. And it's just, once again, Steffi's not there playing matchmaker. Um, but Taylor's like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll sit there and tell Rich. Steffi was like, are you sure? Because I have no problem. I mean, I know it's going to suck to death, but I have no problem sitting there doing it. Not Steffi. I think she got this one. I mean, besides, it would really come better from Taylor than it would from Steffi. I mean, I'm pretty sure, Ridge has saw that over the years, as far as Steffi's feelings towards Brooke. So, in reality, it would come across better from Taylor. So I think when everyone leaves, Steffi comes over Brooke's place. And the way she starts monologuing to her, it's like it's gonna be a big showdown. And like right before the fight, you got the villain just there, just being all high and mighty and talking with just such confidence and assurance, about the downfall of, their rival or whatever. The way she was walking in and she was there talking like, oh, Dad has been pretty supportive of you and you've constantly screwed up more than once and he's stuck by you anyway. Because I don't know, but, he does. Of course, she brings up the scandals because it can't just be a simple cheating. No, no, no. It got to be a scandal. I don't know. I guess because they're a prominent family, whenever something like that comes out, whenever she does something, it's in the tabloids and stuff like that. So that's why she kept referring to. Because after a while, I was like, why does she keep snitching calling it a scandal? She cheated like a lot of times. I don't understand how we're snitching calling that a scandal, but given their names, okay. I did enjoy that part though. I was just wondering, was she gonna sit there and just come out like, yeah, we know that you were sitting there kissing Deacon. That's what I was sitting there waiting for, but she didn't drop that bar though. She did not drop that bar, and I was a little kind of disappointed, but I was like, maybe they'll do it tomorrow. I mean, Rich does come over to Taylor's place, and Taylor just draws up this whole thing. Like, she just goes around in a circle, like, I always have your best interests at heart, and, we're such good friends or whatever. And, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, sit there and tell you. And I'm like, just say what it is that's on your mind. honestly, tell you the truth, that is so frustrating. And you know what? I partly get it. I partly get it. Given her profession, I felt like she should just rip that band-aid right off and just said how she felt. But of course, we gotta sit there and enjoy this out until tomorrow. Maybe. Um, and like I said, I get it. When you gotta sit there and say something or tell somebody something that's just is gonna make them feel a certain way. It's gonna either hurt them or it's gonna be uncomfortable. Whatever it is, most of us will kind of go around in circles before that other person gets frustrated and we're forced to sit there and say something. And that's exactly what it was for Taylor. Um, so she gets close to the point where she's like, yeah, well, I got to sit there and tell you about something that happened with Brooke. And then, of course, it just stops. So it's like, it was right there. We're right. I sat there and I looked at the numbers, like just going up to like 19 minutes. I was like, man, she's not going to be able to say it in time. I mean, she drew this out so long to the point where it's like she literally knew how to run that damn clock down. So I guess we'll just sit there and wait until tomorrow. Maybe. Um, before I get to the, I guess, last part of this story, I was thinking about Carter. And I know somebody was saying like he was writing for the show a little bit, or he was, doing something with the writing and stuff like that. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, did he actually write himself a personality? Because the reason why I sit there and say that is because I don't feel like there's really a much of a personality from Carter. I feel like there's one from Zende. Hell, there's even one from Paris. And she comes across as a dingbat, but there's a personality there. With Carter, it's like I don't get the sense of him, to be honest. Like I really don't. I'm not saying they're trying to down the dude. It's just like there's no personality. I guess he just makes up for that with muscles. So I don't know. But let's get to the last part of this episode. So surprise, surprise, Deacon actually comes over Sheila's place, and I'm kind of just like, uh, why? Why? Every time she visits you at work, you're constantly looking like you're annoyed. Like you don't want to be seen with her because of Hope and everything like that. And even before then, you just seemed like you were just really annoyed by her presence. Why the hell are you actually at her place? But he goes over there. He's talking about Ridge. Um, Now throughout this whole conversation, Sheila is trying to goat Deacon into blowing up, Ridge and Brooke's marriage by, announcing that, he was the one that was not there drinking with her. But, Deacon's like, I'm not going to do that. Listen, I may want her, but I'm not going to sit there and wreck her marriage to sit there and do that. But it's just saying, like, she kept sitting there trying to goat it and goat situation. And, there was one point where Deacon was kind of upset the way that Ridge was sitting there talking down at him. And there's one point where he's sitting there talking about, it's like, oh, he's so smug, this, that, and the third. If you only knew. And so now Cheryl was like, if you only knew what? If you only knew what? What if you only knew? What is it you guys sit there and tell? And I'm just sitting there looking at it like, that damn pride right there. That damn pride. Or as somebody likes to sit there and say, I think Charlemagne the God, the male fragile ego. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you just told your daughter that you're not going to sit there and spill the beans and say what happened. But the minute that Ridge got there in your face, you were practically ready to sit there and, you know, say what happened just to get back at him. I don't like to sit there and say the male fragile ego, but, sometimes, unfortunately, it does kind of apply. I'm going to be honest, I felt like Finn was just entirely pointless in this episode. I mean, he was there because, he had his shirt off and abs and everything like that, but like, really sit there. Hell, he didn't even really sit there and contribute that much into the conversation. It was mostly Steffi and Taylor that was sitting there talking. Like, he was just there to be there. Um, Even the Taylor, not the Taylor, the Sheila and Deacon scene was like, I mean, Sheila didn't learn anything more than what she did before. But now, I guess she kind of did to some extent because she knows, or at least she suspects that something happened. When he dropped this whole "if you only knew." So, I don't know. I feel like that's about it. Not exactly a bad episode. It really left you kind of on a cliffhanger for a damn Tuesday, but whatever. And the sad thing is that I don't feel like they're gonna actually get through it tomorrow. I feel like they're gonna sit there and focus on the whole, Carter and Paris and Zende and Grace. Because why not? Hey, speaking of characters I actually forgot about, anybody knows what's going on with Eric and Quinn? 'Cause that was kind of a storyline for a hot minute. I mean, hell, somebody got fired because they gave Eric an erection, and we haven't actually had any updates on if anything actually happened more, you know, in that bedroom area. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's about it. I'm going to get going. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.